So it's December, and like we all expected, it is getting really cold outside. I am here where I live in Michigan, and there is snow on the ground, and it's the coldest it's been all year, and I know it's only going to get colder. However, what I would like to say is that I don't like this. If I had the ideal world, I don't think I would ever invent cold weather. But the truth is that I just have to deal with it because this is reality. The only thing I can do is make the best of it. I can adapt to the situation by putting on a coat and being careful when I drive out on the road because I know it's going to be icy. Before I get in depth to this discussion, what I'd like to do first is, I'd like to talk to you on a personal note. Right now in my life, I am not doing very well. Let me take off my jacket. I am having difficulties once again in college as far as grades. Last year, if many of you have watched some of my videos, you'll already know that I did drop out of college last year. On top of that, right now I'm going through relationship difficulties. I'm having a hard time emotionally, and everything is going okay. I don't want you to worry about my relationship, but I'm just stressed out thinking about certain things. The only thing I want to talk about on that subject is that I just want you to know that although I do give advice on my channel, it's probably the hardest thing for me to do to look at my life and say, is it really smart for me to give advice when I'm going through difficult things in my own life? I mean, if I can't even keep my own life together, I mean, how can I even imagine giving advice to you? And that's something that you need to take into consideration. And that's really the only reason why I'm telling you that, is because I want to be honest with you. But I do believe in the things that I say, therefore, I'm not going to change anything up. It's just I want you to know what I'm going through in my life. Right now, I could probably get into a long discussion about personal responsibility, and I can use that to talk about why I'm not doing so well in my own life, such as with college and my relationship with my girlfriend. However, I'm not going to do that. To put it really simple, I'm just not taking personal responsibility in my life. But nonetheless, it's still a really difficult time for me. So I have a question. What do we do in our life when something difficult comes up? When things aren't going according to plan and they are not the way that we want them to be? I think the most important thing to realize here is the reason why things don't go according to plan or the way that we want them to go is because using our human mind, we have this imagination where we can create the ideals that we want to live by in our life. We can create the ideal situation in our mind of what life should be like for us. So I think that the biggest problem is the expectation that you set for yourself in your own life. If you set your expectations really high, unless you meet those expectations, life isn't going to go according to plan. And this really gets into the big battle between idealism and realism. I think I used those words right, but basically it's just to say we have ideals of what the perfect world, the perfect life would be, and then we have what reality is. And oftentimes they're not the same, and it's a big battle. When you go through difficult times in your life, these things are going to make you stronger as an individual. I think what you'll find is that a person who has everything in their life going the way they want them to seems to break down and seems to get really frustrated and confused and upset when even the littlest thing happens in their life. Take a 10-year-old girl, for example. If she breaks a nail, her life is probably over. She's going to throw a tantrum, she's going to cry, and everything is going to be crazy. You know, take a more mature adult and they break a nail and it's nothing. Obviously that's a stupid example, but if we can relate that to bigger things, if you've been through hard times in your life, you know, some things in your life aren't going to seem like anything and they're not going to be a big deal. I think the ultimate thing that we all just want is for somebody to come in and say, it'll all be okay, right? Like, don't worry, it's just going to be fine. And the truth is, everything will be fine. As long as you can survive through it, it will make you better, it'll make you stronger. And I think that's already a phrase, but I just wanted to reciprocate that to you because it is true. You know, I mean, as long as it doesn't kill you, you're going to be able to get through your life and you're going to come out stronger. Even some tragedies in your life, like if you got in a car accident and you were in a wheelchair and you couldn't use your legs, that is probably one of the worst and most severe things that could happen to you. But there is a way to continue on living even though that happened. I've never been through that. I can only imagine what life is going to be like for somebody who's actually gone through something major. I mean, all the things that I go through in my life are of lesser severity. However, I still understand the idea behind it, that difficult things are going to happen in your life, because not everything is going to happen the way you want it to. And like I said, I think just what we all want is somebody to come in and say that everything will be okay. Right now, I could certainly use a person to say that to me, but I just wanted to say that to you. One more thing right before I go. I want to now direct you to my last two videos. You can click here to watch my last video, or you can click right there to watch the one before that. These are great videos. I think that you should probably watch them, to be honest with you. So go ahead and click on one of them. Alright, I gave you enough time, and now I'm going to end the video. I'll see you later.